Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And we always love talking about the power of media and events. That's why we're honored to have with us Shelly Robertson Birdsong, owner and publisher, and Anna Robertson Ham, managing publisher of Your Community Media and YOUR Williamson. How are you two doing?
We're great. Good morning.
Well, we have a lot of fun conversations ahead around marketing, communications, a magazine, an event. So let's go ahead and dive in. Let's start, though, with Your Community Media. So, Shelly, give us some background on Your Community Media.
Okay. Well, Your Community Media is actually relatively new. We just relaunched the brand and under that new name from Robertson Media Group, which was started in 2011. At the same time that we launched YOUR Williamson Magazine. And so obviously we're Robertsons and that's been the name for a while, but in recent time, we kind of have always been an event company, inadvertently, somewhat unwittingly, because of what we just do with the magazine all the time. We're always involved with events, either as media partners, sponsors. We do a lot of mixers and events with our clients. But in recent time, we decided that we were going to add a new branch to the business fully and purposefully by doing revenue-based events, very much community-centric, always with some kind of charitable component to them. So, for example, for several years now, we've been doing an event called Muscle Shoals to Main Street, which I guess really was the first one that we started about 4 years ago with Visit the Shoals out of Muscle Shoals, Alabama, who wanted to do an event focused on music between Muscle Shoals and Franklin. And so we created a songwriters event at the Franklin Theater here in Franklin, and it just kind of blew up and was very successful. And we realized that we had a lot of ideas for a lot of different events. So in the last 4 years, we've started creating more events. We also have created a creative services side of our business, which is really kind of what we do on a daily basis with our current clients and for a lot of nonprofits that we partner with. But we decided to offer it as an actual, if you're a small business and you can't afford a big marketing company or a big advertising company to help you, which so many of our clients are in that space, we can do it for you at a much more reasonable rate. You trust us, you're already using us if you're advertising in the magazine. And so we've launched that side of the business. So Your Community Media is sort of that all-encompassing umbrella, and we felt like it was a little more on brand for us. We are a very small company, a very small office. As you see, we are a family operation. My husband is also my co-publisher here and head of sales. And we're right in downtown Franklin. It's very, we've been doing this magazine for 14 years. And previous to that, we ran another local magazine for about 6 years. And we're just all about the community, everything that we do, whether it's what you see in the magazine, which is so very much about Williamson County. We try very hard to stay focused on our backyard, but also with our events. Everything we do, we try to this weekend, for example, we are doing the Dunk Tank at Main Street Festival.
It's always a hit.
Also created a few years ago as a fun thing that we could do because we wanted to be more interactive with that event, which we've sponsored for many, many years as a media partner, but we wanted to actually get out there and do something, and we didn't want it to be boring just handing out magazines. So we decided to start a dunk tank, and it's really become a community favorite because we have the fire chief in there.
We've got three aldermen in there, the fire chief. We have community volunteers, community leaders.
The Rotary clubs, they taunt each other about it. So
it's a big macho competition, let me tell you, who gets the most dunks. But all that relates to fundraising. So we're raising money for a great cause in the community. And so it's just a fun way to give back. And everyone likes to stop by. We get crowds over there, and we're welcoming more donkeys. So if you know of anyone, come on out and hop in the tank and help us fundraise.
We can put you in there tomorrow. It will be fine. Last minute is good.
But we're fundraising for LEG's Inclusive Playground, which will be over in Franklin off of Carruthers. They just did a groundbreaking recently. And this will be, something wonderful for the community and for children of all abilities. So it's a great cause. And we invite people to come out to either throw or run up and push the button and dunk the person in the dunk tank. So
I think all this, though, is when you take the experiences from the magazine, YOUR Williamson, and the graphic design, the events, all these things that, just like you're saying, you do these all day, every day, and you take those experiences and the connections and the power to give back and use it to be able to do it in a bigger way in the community makes so much sense. And so I love just, you've got all these different ways, different vehicles that you can help through connections, events, media, the magazine, to be able to lift the community. So, obviously you're talking about it throughout, but go ahead and dive into YOUR Williamson as the magazine.
Sure. Well, so 14 years ago, this next month, we launched YOUR Williamson Magazine. And it kind of was, it came off of a previous magazine that we had actually operated and ran for another company called VIP Williamson. So when we launched, or I launched and brought Anna with me, the new business and the new titled magazine, it was very much, covering social events, but in our case, a lot of those are charitable events. So that was a big part of it. And also being able to tell stories of people in the community that maybe no one knew about or had any idea they did this. And so that's where it came from initially. As we have evolved and grown, and I guess part of my vision was, Williamson County is a top 10 community in this country, in multiple ways. People are clamoring to move here, good or bad. But in the last, this has been a huge beacon for people all over the country as a wonderful place to live and work and raise children. And so we're very blessed to live here. And there's obviously a huge economic factor to Williamson County. The demographic is strong. And so my feeling was, why would we not create a publication that reflects that high-end, very affluent, but also, giving back to the community. And Williamson County is very unique in that everyone here is always about giving back. How can we do that? Whether it's financially or volunteering, it is a huge factor and aspect in this community. And so we kind of set out to create a gardening gun for Williamson County. That's our Bible, as we call it around here. And, but because it's such a very niche publication, it's very targeted to what its focus is. And it's obviously beautiful and aesthetically pleasing. And so we have spent, 14 years trying to curate and create the perfect just synopsis of Williamson County every month, And hopefully we've been doing that. You never stop trying to be better, but we feel like we have a beautiful publication. And every month, it's just amazing to me. There is no shortage of stories to tell. No. There's no shortage of events to cover. There's no shortage of people who are contributing in some great way that we can showcase in the magazine. And so we're never at a loss for content. And of course, the magazine being print and on stands every month is amazing and wonderful. And we always talk to our advertisers about how niche marketing and the kind of magazine that we are is actually really strong advertising. And a lot of people like to say print is dead, but print is not dead. And the marketing data supports that very much. And because we are so targeted, Williamson County businesses want to reach Williamson County residents. And so we are like the perfect platform for that. We have a very unique and targeted circulation method that we use throughout the month here in Williamson County. We have 100% pickup. We never have magazines left. And so a few years ago, we kind of launched into the digital side of things, where we put a little bit more emphasis on a website with content, and obviously having the magazine online. And it drew a whole different set of readers to reading it online as opposed to in print. And some do both, as we have found out. So they read it online when it first hits the website, when it first comes out, and then they read it again when it's on stands, or they're looking for it on stands, as we've been asked many, many times how to get a hard copy. So we're also growing that digital side and really trying to have, because again, there's so much content available to us, a daily story to tell that's also your Williamsons and online. And that also segues into social media and all the things that go along with that. So we're everywhere. We're not just a magazine at this point.
Yeah, and I think to your point, especially for the online side, that's a global opportunity because people are curious about the community and they want to connect. And so it gives the global audience a chance to do so, as well as obviously those that want the daily interactions. And then obviously having the beautiful magazine, each month too, where they can go in person and get it, all those different ways that you can connect and really celebrate the community and those who are making a difference. And so, Anna, give us maybe one of your favorite pieces. Obviously, you can't pick your personal favorite necessarily, like pick your favorite kid, but give us a personal favorite, part of the magazine. So what are some of your favorite pieces of the magazine?
We were kind of talking about this the other day, and I said it's not a job. It's something that we just do because we live here and we play here and we've grown up here. We work here, yes, but this is something that we get to do on a daily basis, to tell these stories and to bring awareness to these organizations that need it, that need to tell their story and they're not able to. And so being able to be involved in the community in that way and get others involved in fun ways too. Like Shelly said, we're not just a magazine. We're actually out there, participating in events and, stomping grapes for a vintage affair, helping them raise money, doing the dunk tank, and bringing in our events as well that have a charitable aspect. And that's the part I really love about it, because a lot of people do not know. They'll buy these tickets to these events and they go to them, but they don't really know what it's actually doing and what it's serving. And for us to be able to be a voice for that is extremely important. So I love that part of it.
Well, speaking of events, you've got a big one, so let's go ahead and dive in. It's the second annual Ladies of Distinction, Iconic Women of Williamson, May 13th. Go ahead and dive in.
I have been blessed in my long career in both advertising, event directing, and now publishing here in Williamson County to have been mentored by so many incredible women in this community. And I guess about 2 years ago, really, is when it started. We used to have an event in Williamson County that was kind of a ladies' luncheon fashion show, just a great kickoff to spring day that we as a staff always participated in and loved. And my thought was, we need to bring an event like that back to Williamson County. And no one else was really doing it. So we started brainstorming, okay, who's going to do the fashion show? What are we going to do? What else do we want? And at the same time, I was dreaming up this event. I was thinking, there are so many women that we should be honoring. And in a lot of ways, I was thinking we need to honor them before we aren't able to honor them. Mm-hmm. And so that beget the Iconic Women of Williamson idea. And we very readily last year were able to come up with 12 amazing iconic women of Williamson who we felt like needed to be honored finally and recognized. And, we have always had in the May issue of the magazine, I guess because it's our anniversary month and it's Mother's Day month, whatever, we always sort of made May our ladies issue. And so every year in that issue, we would showcase usually 8 to 10 women. We call them our ladies of distinction. And we'd do stories on those women, and people would nominate ladies for us to feature. And so that's always been kind of part of our May feel. So we decided to translate that into an event, and it became all the things. It became honoring these women. It became a marketplace of shopping with women-centric businesses. It became a silent auction of women curated items. And then, of course, the fashion show, which we were blessed to partner with Belk on last year, and they're on board with us again this year. So we created this event of all the things, and really with the idea in mind that we are celebrating, and especially last year, we had a lot of focus on, yes, the 12 women that we were honoring in real life, but we also did a huge homage to women in history of Williamson County.
Yes.
And the stories of so many women since our founding in 1799 of women's contributions to Williamson County. So you got to literally walk around the ballroom and read about these women who are the history of Williamson County. And it really was, it was just amazing, because so many people, so many ladies attended. Yes, because of the icons that we were honoring, but it was also almost like a reunion of just all these women in Williamson County who came together for this event. It was really beautiful to see so many of these also icons in the audience who came together for that event, and were just loving it. And so we knew that we had succeeded. And last year we decided, we were thinking, okay, what do we want to do in celebration of women? What makes the most sense? We want to give back to the community in some capacity. And so we ended up starting a ongoing fund that we will be giving to the Turner Dugas Breast Health Center as part of the Williamson Health Foundation here in Williamson County. Breast cancer is obviously something that women deal with on a regular basis, unfortunately. And so it was a very inspiring gift for us to begin that. And it'll be in the name of the iconic women every single year as we give a donation. And then secondly, we started the scholarship fund that every year we'll have a different honorees name to it. This year it will be in the name of Miss Daisy King, who's a very iconic Williamson County lady, Tennessee lady, really, who we honored last year as an icon. And unfortunately, she passed away last month. So we're going to honor her this year. And our scholarship, which we're going to give 2 this year. We gave 1 last year. We're going to give 2 this year. A graduating female senior here in Williamson County. So we're going to provide them with a scholarship in Daisy's name this year for wherever it is they're going to school and whatever they're pursuing. So the whole day is just celebrating women.
It really is. I mean, and we heard nothing but positive feedback last year. They were just already like, well, when's the next one? You're doing it again, right? When are tickets going on sale? And it was such, even from behind the scenes, because we were working so hard, we didn't get to see everything, but we heard nothing but positive, and nothing but, this was like a reunion, like Shelly said, of women you don't get to see all the time. And it was just a wonderful way to bring all of these women together in a room for such a great meeting and cause to celebrate. So we're looking forward to this year.
Well, go ahead and give us the details in terms of the, date, timing, logistics, the where. So dive into that part.
Well, we're having it at the same location at Liberty Hall in the factory at Franklin. It's May 13th, and doors open at 10:30 a.m. And that's when the ladies get to come on in and start shopping the Mini Pearl Marketplace, grab a cocktail, get photos. Luncheon will begin around 11:30 with the program, and then the fashion show will be within that as well. There'll also be the silent auction going on during that time. And, there'll be something to do for every moment of the event that's going to be fun. So, yeah.
Talk about tickets, sponsorships, those pieces that go back to support, obviously, the philanthropy.
Yes. So tickets are on sale. They can be purchased either by calling in our office or they can go to yourwilliamson.com/events, and the Ladies of Distinction event will be there for them to see. And there's opportunities to purchase a table, host a table. There's opportunities to purchase individual tickets, but there's also sponsorship opportunities and opportunities to be involved in the marketplace and silent auction still. So we encourage businesses especially women-centered, women-owned, to be a part of this, because it's just a great opportunity to reach that audience, but just to be involved in something that, is so supportive of the community and giving back to such a special cause and reason. So.
And we are excited that we have Diamond Cellar and Williamson Health as our two major sponsors currently. We may end up with some more before the day is out. Puffy Muffin is also one of our major sponsors, and ironically so, Linda Stone, who is the founder and owner of Puffy Muffin, is one of our iconic women this year. She is a tremendously amazing businesswoman in our county. She opened Puffy Muffin about 30 years ago and was one of the first and only women business owners at that time. And that's a family business too. So it's very exciting to have her be honored this year and have them on board as a sponsor. The tickets are $150 per person. And of course that gets you shopping, lunch, cocktails if you want them, networking, a fashion show, all the things. And it's very pink this day.
Yes.
You don't have to wear pink, but it seems like everything is pink.
It is. It is. Well,
and so
blush and bashful.
Yeah, blush and bashful. Men are welcome. Obviously, Johnny Birdsong will be on hand, and we actually have some fairly well-known gentlemen models that will be modeling in the fashion show. So men are welcome. There won't be many of them, but they're certainly welcome to come if they would like. But it's just a fun day. We're very excited. Courtney Rowell Tate is our chairperson this year, and she's been working really hard to work with sponsors and organize the event and get volunteers together. We've got a great committee of volunteers helping us that day. So we're looking forward to it.
We'll wrap up with website contact information when you talk about your community media as well as your Williamson and the event. Go ahead and mention again, website, social media, phone number. Where would you direct everyone to go to learn more and get involved?
Well, you can visit us at yourcommunity.media. Also, yourwilliamson.com. Our number is 615-465-6046. Also, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Your Williamson. And we give all the updates on upcoming events that are going on in the community there, as well as our events too.
And you can sign up for our twice a week e-blast, which is you can sign up for it on yourwilliamson.com. And you're going to get, one day a week, there's going to be information about stories and things that have been in the magazine or new news stories around the community. And then on Thursday, we have our get ready for the weekend and what's getting ready to happen event schedule and the things that we're sponsoring and a part of. And it also will always have information about what we're doing and what's going on. So you can sign up for that and be in the know in Williamson County at all times.
Well, Shelly, Anna, thank you for all you and your amazing team do to power the good. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.